Yes, people, what is going on? Hope you are all good. We are going to go through the entire draw for the FIFA World Cup, 2022 World Cup, of course, taking place in Qatar. We're going through everything. I'm going to talk you through what each group looks like, but most importantly, I'm going to run you through the whole tournament. And we're going to make our way too early World Cup 2022 predictions. So let's get straight into this video. Subscribe if you're new around here, and let's get underway. I should also say before I start this video, if you don't know, I'm an England fan. Let's just say that straight out the bat. Right, so Group A, we have got, of course, the hosts, Qatar. They are with Ecuador, Senegal, and the Netherlands. It'll be likely the Netherlands at top of that group, Senegal that comes second. England are drawn in Group B with Iran, the USA, and the playoff winner for Europe. Now, that'll either be Ukraine, Wales, or Scotland. I am going to say this very early doors. I like the Scottish team. I like the Welsh team. I also do like the Ukrainian team. But I do believe, if I had to pick one right now, which I will be doing, I am going to say that Wales progress through. I may be wrong in that, so we can't be 100% certain, but I do think the Welsh and Gareth Bale have got enough to get through and into the World Cup, meaning they would be in a group with England. Of course, in the Euros last year, we had Scotland in our group. The Euros before that, we had Wales in our group. Now it's set to be, I think, Wales in the World Cup group with England. If that's to be said, we are, of course, England, Iran, the USA, and Wales I will have. I'm going to have England and Wales to progress through the group. I think this Welsh team is good. I think many people underestimate exactly what they can do and what Gareth Bale can turn up and perform doing as well. I think he's a fantastic player that gets way too much stick. So I'm going to go with Wales go through in that one. Group C, Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and Poland. I have got Argentina and Mexico going through. Poland have definitely got a chance, but I just think that they rely a little bit too much on Robert Lewandowski. He has been a little bit unfortunate at tournaments previously, not quite showed up. I think the Mexican team is a bit more well-rounded, so that's why I am picking them to go through with Argentina. Argentina obviously to win the group, Mexico to come second. You then got Group D, which is France, one of the playoff winners who hasn't been confirmed yet, Denmark and Tunisia. We don't need to worry about the playoff winner because they're not going to go through in this group. France are going to top the group. Denmark are going to come second. Exactly what happened in the 2018 World Cup, of course, when France went on to win it. Group E, we have got the Spanish, one of the playoff winners, Germany and Japan. Japan are a good side, but they haven't got the might and the strength that Germany and Spain have. Neither will the playoff winner, so I'm going to go for definitely Spain to win the group, Germany to come second. It's a good German team, but the Spanish team is better. So that's what we're going to go for. Belgium will win Group F, Canada, Morocco and Croatia. I'm actually going to go for Morocco go through in this one. I think Croatia are a good team, but they're ageing a little bit. Canada are too unproven. They might turn up and get a result, but can't see them going through. I think that's a bit of a step too far for them. Very similar group in 2018 for Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, Cameroon is the other one. I don't think Cameroon are going to do anything, not quite the power that they've been in years gone by. Switzerland, I'm going to have to go through with Brazil. It could be them or Serbia. It's a real coin flip with Vlahovic and Mitrovic and other players for Serbia. Don't rule them out, but I'm going to go for the Swiss. I think they're better than people let on that they really are. And then Group H, Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay and South Korea or Korean Republic. I can't see Korea going through. I don't think Ghana are that strong. I look at African football, there's probably 2 or 3 teams that are worth talking about. Unfortunately, Ghana aren't one of them. So I'm not having them going through. I'm going to have Portugal to win the group and Uruguay to come second. What does that mean then for the rest of the tournament? This is what we're going to start to go into. This is what it hasn't maybe been worked out just yet, but this is the full breakdown of what I genuinely think is going to happen. So go and put money on it. That's the teams I think that are going to go through. We're going to go now into the knockout round. Subscribe also as well if you haven't already. There's been a lot of work gone into this video in a very short space of time. So match 49, which is the first game of the knockout round, will be Wales against Holland. I will have the Dutch going through in that one. It then is going to be in match 50 is Argentina versus Denmark. We'll have the Argentinians to go through in that one. That'll be a very tough game though. That one could go either way because the Danish team is a very, very good side. In match 51 is England versus Senegal. Of course, Sadio Mane, Edouard Mendy, good players that they've got there, Senegal, but I just think the England team will be too strong for them, so we'll have England to go through in that. France against Mexico, you can't back against the world champions. France are going through in that one. Match 53, this is the better half of the draw, I think. Anyway, that's my personal opinion. There's some big names in it, but I still would say it's the better side. Spain versus Morocco. I'm going to go for a Spanish win. That's match 53. Match 54 is Brazil versus Uruguay. This Uruguayan side is good, but aging a little bit. They have got a little bit of pace up front if they don't choose to play Cavani and Suarez together. But I think Brazil, who haven't really conceded goals at all in the last year, I think they're going to be the favourites very much into the latter stage of this tournament, but definitely in this game as well. Match 55 is Belgium versus Germany. Coin flip, which way is this one going to go? I'm going to go for the world-class player that is Kevin De Bruyne, coming and showing up in a major tournament like he has done so many times before. I'm going to go Belgium to go through and knock out Germany, so they are out in the round of 16 for the second successive tournament. Of course, the Euros being knocked out by England for Germany. And then match 56, the last game of the round of 16, is a pretty uneventful Portugal versus Switzerland. Ronaldo, last World Cup, is going to turn up and do anywhere near. He'll just play, and it will be enough to beat this Swiss team, of course, with all the other problems that they've got in this Portugal team to deal with. I mean, Bruno Fernandes, Bernardo Silva, Pepe. It's just, they're going to go through 100%. Now we're into the real interesting stages, which haven't necessarily been worked out by many different people. So, Spain versus Brazil, match 58. This could go either way. This is a fantastic tie. Both are going to keep the ball. Brazil don't concede goals that often. The Spanish team is young. It is getting on a little bit, but players like Pedri and such coming through, are they going to be able to grab the game? I do think they will, but I think Brazil will still go through. I think they're a bit more well-rounded than the Spanish team, who, I mean, years gone by, they've been fantastic. They're in pot one for a reason, but I think Brazil will do enough to go through in this one. That's match 58. Match 57, I should say, will be the one that's played before it. That will be Holland versus Argentina, a rematch of the 2014 World Cup final. Semi-final. Semi-final, not the final. It's going to be a very intriguing game, this one. Is Messi going to have enough to do it by himself? Is it going to be a better team performance by the Dutch? I have Argentina going through in this one, but that one is close. That one is seriously, seriously close. Belgium against Portugal is match 60. We'll come on to the other match a little bit later, or just after this one. Belgium are a very good side. They're well-rounded. Portugal are the same thing. I am going to go for Belgium to go through in this one, to knock out Portugal. That will be Ronaldo's last World Cup match. Will be a loss to Belgium. There's, again, won't be a lot in it. I think the attacking flair of both these sides will prevail. I just think that the way that Portugal play, and they're not reliant on Ronaldo, but how much they do look to go through him, could potentially be a massive problem for them. They score goals on the counter-attack, and I don't think Belgium are going to allow you to counter-attack in the way that other teams would. So I think Belgium are going to go through in this one. England versus France could be game of the tournament. Match 59, the last game, or the second to last game of the quarterfinals. It would be incredible if this comes out, and I think likelihood will come out in this way. England against France, World Cup champions versus the runners-up in the Euros. It's tough. It is so tough, and this is where I think England's campaign really could come crashing down. If you're going to go out to anyone, you want to go out to the team that goes on to win it. You want to go out to the best, and I think that if England or France, whichever team goes through here, has a real chance of going on to win the whole tournament. That will be a massive scalp to take, whichever team takes the scalp. I'm biased. I'm going for England. Deal with it. Argentina versus Brazil, semi-final number 1, match 61 of the tournament. For the same reason I've said all the way through, I think defence or defensive units, there's a very cringy saying in America, and I hope there is a couple of American viewers watching this: defence wins championships, and Brazil defend. If it's going to have to be Messi magic that comes out and wins this game for Argentina, maybe that will be the case, but they've got so many world-class goalkeepers, so many world-class defenders, Brazil. I just think they're going to have enough to go and get through Argentina. So I think Brazil are going to make the final for the first time in 20 years, I think. Yeah, 20 years, which is mental. England versus Belgium, the last or the second of the semi-finals. I'm biased, I'm going for England. That'll be another intriguing game. The problem with England, and this is why I said right at the start, this draw for England is not a great draw. It's a great group to have, but not a great draw because of who you will then play afterwards. You'd have to play against Senegal, who are the champions of Africa. You have to play against the World Cup champions, or the current World Cup champions in France, and then the team that's been ranked #1 in the world for God knows how long, until today anyway, where they were dethroned by Brazil. England are going to have to beat Senegal, France, and then Belgium to make a final against, in this case, Brazil. Bias. I think England are going to go and beat Belgium, deal with it, which then sets up a final of Brazil versus England. And this is one, unfortunately, England fans, that I can't see us winning. I would love football to come home. It's a week before Christmas, and I think it would be fantastic if it did. I think it would be the best World Cup win ever. I just don't see it happening with the way the draw has gone. So we might have massive optimism about the group, and we have got a very easy group in Iran, likely to be Wales or Scotland, and then also the USA as well. So we might absolutely tank the group. It might be incredibly easy to get through the group, but then you've got so many tough games coming up afterwards. The only easy thing potentially for England is the group. You could be able to rest a couple of players, but really in tournaments you want to find form, and you want to find form as soon as possible. So it's likely Harry Kane's going to play in all these games, as is probably the full 11 against Iran and the USA, and then whoever the playoff winner is as well. But realistically, I think it's going to be too much to ask. I think Brazil are going to go on and win the tournament. I like the way that their tournament pans out. I think the other thing as well, you need to think about, if Brazil are going to go and do it, they've got probably a favourable group, but then they're going to have to beat Spain, Argentina, and then likely to be England, France, or Belgium. So I think they're going to win it, and I think they're going to deserve to win it. England were very lucky in the Euros with the draw that we got, playing Denmark, who were the lesser of the teams available in the Euro semi-final. We got lucky in that one. We got lucky in 2018. We played Colombia. They took us to penalties. We also then had, who do we play? Played Sweden again, and they were rubbish. They really were rubbish. And of course, we crashed out to Croatia. So I don't want to get our hopes up too high. I would love to be the one who said, oh my God, it's coming home. It just is coming home. But realistically, this is a tough, tough draw for England. It's going to be a great tournament, whatever happens. It's going to be very different. You don't know how these nations are going to all come together. Of course, the World Cup at a very different time of year compared to normal. But I back the England boys. I think they've got a chance to go and do it, but I do just think there's going to be one too many tests in this tournament for England to go and win it. I think Brazil might have it in them, which could potentially be the final chance for Neymar to really solidify himself as a Brazilian legend. Yeah, that's why I think the draw is going to work out, as I think it's going to be a semi-final between Argentina, Brazil, probably France, Belgium, and then it will be a France-Brazil final, I think, and it could go either way from there. But hey, I'm optimistic. Maybe it's stupid optimism, but I'm optimistic. England could do something in this World Cup, but if we are going to do something, it's going to come the hard way. So anyway, it might not pan out like this. I don't know. We'll find out, of course, in December. But I think this is the one that if you had to put money on it, this is what you'd be going for. So yeah, there's a lot to take in, a lot of information. Maybe rewatch back the video, but I don't see football coming home. Sorry, everyone. I can't see it happening. Hope I haven't annoyed any of you too much. Maybe I've gained a little bit more respect rather than being the stupid Englishman who always thinks it's coming home. I don't know. But thank you for watching. If you're new around here, make sure you subscribe. I hope I have educated a couple of you anyway in exactly what the World Cup's going to look like. But yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe. And it's going to be one hell of a tournament. Whatever happens, it's going to be a brilliant, brilliant tournament. One like we've never seen before.